Alright, let's get down to business. Aliens. I've been putting off reviewing this one for too long. I meant to keep going amongst the Alien series back when I did Alien and then proceeded to do the Predator films, but sometimes finding the time to sit down and watch Aliens, it's not an easy movie to fit into your day. Mostly just because of the runtime. And I have the special edition of it, which is about 17 minutes longer than the theatrical version. So, pro and con there. So, Aliens. Now, I blame the running length on James Cameron because that dude cannot do a short movie to save his life. So, the original cut of Aliens was 2 hours and, what was it? 2 hours and 17 minutes. This one is 2 hours and 24 minutes. So, nearly 2.5 hours. No, 34 minutes. 2 hours, 34 minutes. I can do math. Anyway, I will say the stuff that they add, I do like that they add it back in. But it is a bit of a sit. Now, plot. It's Aliens, you should know the plot by now. But if you don't, Sigourney Weaver reprises her role as Ellen Ripley, the only survivor from Alien. Spoilers? Anyway, well, Jonesy survived it, that's fine. Okay. Anyway. However, she's been in cryosleep for 57 years as she drifted through space, and, well, has been woken up and thawed out. And the company is not too pleased by her actions. I mean, how they keep track of it 57 years later, but anyway. And don't believe her story about a murderous alien because people have been living on that planet now for several years, and it's fine. However, apparently one of the person was listening and sent some of the colonists to go check out that area that she mentioned, and now suddenly the colony is not responding. So they decide to send Ripley down as an advisor with a group of tough Marines to see what the problem is. And the problem is aliens. So, and everything goes wrong as much as possible, and as the Marines are completely unprepared for the might of the alien menace. And as usual, the aliens are some of the coolest aliens ever conceived in sci-fi, right up there with the Thing. So the xenomorphs are still brilliant. Now, that said, it's not a perfect film, mostly because it is a slow start. To be honest, I do appreciate putting that 17 minutes back in. It adds a lot. It adds stuff about Ripley's daughter. It shows a bit about like why she's how she's getting on with her life and returns to the company. Which the adding the stuff about her daughter gives her more. It gives her more context for her relationship with Newt, the little girl they find in the colony, as the only survivor. And also, they show a few scenes of the colony before it gets hit, so you see a bit about what's going on, including some children running around, so that's nice. And you also see Newt and her family before the inevitable happens. So, and also how they came into contact with the aliens. So they do add a lot back in. So the special edition or the extended edition, whatever you want to call it, definitely does add something. That said, I believe it's about an hour and 10 minutes into the movie before an actual alien shows up. I mean, you see some face huggers before that. But up until that, but it takes that long into the movie. We're over, well, I guess not even quite halfway through because this thing is a beast of a movie. So there is that. And the beginning can be slow. That said, once the action ramps up, it goes non-stop for the rest of it, so it does balance. For the record, I really do love this movie. So, the Marines in particular all have very distinct personalities. Hudson's classic "Game Over, Man" line, and Hicks is the one person who is actually listening to Ripley. the Tough as Nails Sarge, Apone, Vasquez. Like I said, I can remember these guys' names pretty much off the top of my head. So, and that's not because I just saw it recently. These are characters that stick with you, kind of similar to like the Team in Predator, where they're all very distinct, and that adds something. You don't get that in sci-fi horror movies anymore, which is a shame. They're just all filler for body count now, and this one, when the character goes down, it means something. So, another comment I have on this one, and I only noticed it after having watched this movie enough times, is there are a lot of similarities to Alien and Aliens, particularly in the climax. They retread a lot of ground here, and I don't know how intentional that was, but... So, at the end of the movie, they pretty much, well, there's an inevitable countdown to an explosion in Alien and in Aliens. I mean, in Alien, Ripley triggered it to blow up the ship. In this one, there's a reactor that's about to melt down, and the whole colony is about to explode. So, that's going on. Ripley has to go back into the complex, in one case to rescue the cat in Alien, sorry. And this one to rescue Newt in Aliens. So there's that, and even this warning siren sounds kind of familiar. But managed to blast off in time. However, in both cases, an alien is stowed away on the ship. In both. And after a bit of a final showdown, the alien is jettisoned from out the airlock. In both cases. So the last, 15 minutes are very similar to the last 15 minutes of the other movie. Like, it hits all the exact same notes. I mean, it does it well, and there are a few more notes here, like the fight with the alien queen and the loader is a great fight. The "get away from her, you bitch" line gets me tearing up every time, so I'm not complaining too much, but it is an observation I made. The effects will still hold up pretty much completely. I will say there's a little bit where the guns are going and it's clearly they're just not showing the wave of aliens, just probably due to budgetary reasons. And some of the aliens just standing there before they get blasted it isn't the greatest effect. But otherwise, when the aliens are coming and moving around, they look great. Gore effects are top notch. So it definitely goes in more of an action route as compared to Alien. So it is kind of hard to pick a favorite because there are such different style of movies. I think personally I prefer Alien just a little bit more to Aliens. Both of them have quite a likable crew, even though a couple individual characters in Aliens I like better. I really like Newt. I'm a sucker for having the plucky kid. And then Vasquez is such a badass. So there's all that. But Alien has that slow creeping dread and helplessness that I appreciate about it, where they are completely outmatched. In this one, they do blow up a lot of aliens. So I'm going to give this one actually 9 MacGuffins out of 10, so it's still a very strong contender. I know I think I rated Alien when I was still doing the 5 scale, if I recall, so I think I gave that one a 5. That would probably end up being a 10 for me. But Aliens, 9 out of 10 MacGuffins. So, very solid. And I'll probably try to get through more of the Alien series coming up while I'm still on a kick. Hopefully I don't lose too much focus, but I've got a couple other movies to talk about first. So, get to them next. See you soon.